Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, whenever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 54 edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. And also, I would say welcome back from your long holiday after the Muslim celebration and also the May Day. I believe you enjoy your holiday. We are back to trading now today, and we can see that the market is already looking up. But we want to look at what happened in the month of April and also the outlook for the month of May. But I will tell you that the trend in our local market and the global market is what is on a different direction. We have seen that the matured market has been in an oscillation mode as a result of what the earnings that are influencing the number. These earnings are beyond expectation, why some, and also ahead of the the Fed meeting where they are proposing to hike rate at almost 50 points. These are the factors influencing the global market. And also, don't forget that the oil price also has also become another factor that is also influencing the global market ahead of what the OPEC meeting on Thursday. But we have seen that oil have rebounded again. Trading as we speak now, oil is trading around almost 108 dollar. For me, it's a good one for oil producing country. But as we're looking to see the outcome of the OPEC meeting, but as the way it is, I don't see OPEC adjusting. If they do any adjustment, it will be done little. But I believe that what is happening in Ukraine and Russia will continue to influence oil price. I saw also the Europe are also making a move to cut off from importing from also Russia oil. That's also going to be another force for oil price again. But that is why we can see that in mature market, most of the big names have disappointed in terms of Q1 numbers, and that also have kept the market in up and down direction in the last few trading days before our holidays over. We resume today for Monday, Tuesday for the mature market. We have seen up and down movement ahead of this Fed meeting again. But I tell you that the trend for the month of April was not favorable for the mature market or the other market. But for here back home, we have seen a favorable market for the month of April. For our market to gain almost 5.7 percent for the month of April. For the month of April, it's a good sign that our market is also in order. But I will tell you why all these are happening, and for you also not to panic as an investor, the local market here. Why those in the mature market are trying to figure out how they can manage the volatility. But down here, you and I, because we are being guided and also because of our investment objective and goal, like I always say, don't joke with your stop loss, and also take your emotion from your decision. Now that we are already in the month of May, what are you doing, and what is all that happened in the month of April, as I've said. For April, for global market was it was a down market. Why for our local market here, we see an up. Right, so our market is one of the best performing market. Year to date, gained almost 16.21%, while we've created almost like 4.5 trillion in capital appreciation. Tells you that the market here is really not doing well. And don't forget that in the mature market, why we're seeing kind of oscillation is that most of the numbers that have been released are becoming weaker to show that stock is not strong enough for protection of what against inflation. That's why you see their market today is also shaking ahead of also the Fed meeting in there. But down here in our market, we have seen that you can see, for me, I can see that NGS index action could make another 2.1% in the month of May, as impressive earnings yield means stocks will provide more protection against what high inflation. The stronger earnings or better than earnings in Q1 corporate actions have reviewed that that will have a positive GDP, or give an insight of positive GDP for Q1, because we have seen these numbers from these quoted companies showing that yes, our GDP is positive, and also all eyes are are on macroeconomic data in the month of May, because we expect this month of May also to be a period for a meeting slated for around May 20 to 22, around that area for MPC meeting. All eyes are on the macroeconomic data to see if it will influence the MPC meeting. That is why we see that May, yes, I see May to be a miss market because of what? Because of we expect that the corporate action dates for markdown and the adjustment are in this month, and also we expect that there will be what we call sector and portfolio rotation or realignment to meet those people's expectation in terms of playing defensive. I said it earlier in this group that what we call the strong group stock and also some defensive sectors where you can play effectively within this period of inflation. But because though they are panicking because they know that their stock, the earnings that are coming from that angle in mature market is weak for them to hedge against the level. Here, we are seeing a stronger earnings that also help us low. That means we are better off, and that is why you see the PFA, institutional investors, are already leaving the fixed income market, even the bond market and the treasury bill to position in stocks. And this started early this year. You can see the impact on the market because they see that it's only equity market they can hedge against the inflation. Like I also said that if you look at equity investment, there are also some real estate business because this is area that most people will be looking at how to hedge against inflation. Real estate, like how UPDC reached and also UPDC. UPDC also has come up from a loss position to a positive position. For me, it's a plus. That means at this low price of 1 naira 7 kobo, 1 naira 50 kobo, 5 kobo, it's a good time for you to position in that kind of stuff. Why the risk there, UPDC risk, is also for you to hedge against what? Against inflation. For me, I think the equity market is becoming more interesting because the earnings yield for most quoted companies are strong enough for us to look at. And that is why you see as inflation is ticking up, we're going to threaten more of the fixed income instrument because I tell you, yield is just like interest and dividend. And you see that when your dividend is high, your interest is high, you see you put money there. And if you want to hedge against inflation, it's only equity can get it, capital appreciation, dividend, and all. That will help you to help. But if you are in a fixed income, when inflation crosses 10%, I'm telling you, it's already threatening your what? Your position, in the market. That is why we are seeing this kind of move. But for me, for the month of May, I expect, as I said earlier, a mixed trend in the market. But the market is likely also to close positive, but not as high as what we saw in April, because this is a month where we will see a lot of repositioning, a lot of readjustment, realigning of portfolio, and that will happen. And that will expect that more funds will flow into the equity space. I believe when we come to the chart, we want to see how money is flowing into the equity space. But we saw what happened at the end of the week. The market gained almost 2.64 for just 1 week. To say that, and also to speak now, market is already on the uptrend again this morning. It tells you that people are looking at those sectors, those industries, those equities that has that that possibility of if there's high cost in production, even there's price increase, able to push it to their consumers, and they also post a good number. And don't forget that those sectors that also successfully increase the price of their products, you can see that their numbers are equally positive, and that will continue because they have successfully increased the price of their product, and that will be another plus for them. You can see most of them, their top line are in green, and the bottom line are in green. Before we go into technical analysis for the day, we want to look at few of these numbers that really influence the market for the period under review. I will tell you that these numbers are really, we want to look at few of them. We have seen most of them in the banking sector, who we have shared before now. We have seen that the banking sector become more resident and kind of become more stronger, giving us strength and insight of where they are going. Knowing that in the banking sector at any time is the engine room of any economy. As far as the economy is recovering, we expect this number of the bank. It might not be so impressive, more so how would I put it now? The gain or the growth in their bottom line might not be so huge or significant as compared to others. But I'll tell you, as far as the economy is recovering, we're going to see this consistent good numbers coming from the bank because they are the engine room of the economy. Whatever happens, the economy is going to reflect on the bank. But for those sectors like the industrial sector, the oil and the agricultural sector, you can see numbers that are coming there, very impressive number, and that was so even the healthcare sector for me is a plus for the market. And that tells you that these are what the PFA, the big fund we call the smart money, are looking at. That equity space is where they should be now. But don't be carried away. Let your investment go. Let your stop loss. Let your entry and exit strategy guide you to know exactly. And also this time to play with all the technical tools. You need to look at your money flow, look at your MACD, look at your support and resistance level to know exactly where you are and what is happening. And also the strength of volume in equity investment is very, very important. You need to also look at all this in this period because in this new month, I expect oscillation, at the end of the day because that's why the oscillation might come up, but let that oscillation not send you, send panic to you because it's expected. Because most of the big names in the market will be doing their markdown, dividend qualification in this month of May. For me, that's why I said we're expecting this trend in this month of May. But people want to look at these few results that hit the market. I will tell you these results are very, very impressive. Number one of these results here, I would say we're looking at MTN result for me is a good number that will tell you what is happening. And also, don't forget that the sector is also proposing like 40% increase in data cost, and also the airtech, the air card cost. If that increase, that's going to be a boost also for them. But let's see for what happened in the MTN. MTN posted top line of almost 22% growth, from 385.32 to 470.98 billion. This switch, and also the profit after tax were up in that direction from 73.75 billion to 96.82 billion, percent 31.82%. Also in that direction, EPS that tells you what is for you as an investor, what you should look at if you want to share their profit, what comes to you. The earning per share is for 2022 is 4.62. That is good. And their profit margin, I would say that you want to look at how efficient this company is, or how do they manage their resources, what are they retaining from all the sales they are making. From MTN, their profit margin moved from 19.14 to 20.56. That means in every 1 naira MTN is making, they're retaining about 20 kobo or 21 kobo as well as a profit. That is very, very good for MTN as we speak now. For that, you can see the number of MTN of that 5 to 413.18 billion, represent 24.21% up. Also, we're looking at the PAT for Dangote was in that direction again, from 89.71 to 105.85, representing 17 or 18% up. Equally good. And their EPS moved from 5 naira 25 kobo to 6 naira 18 kobo for Q1 is very, very good for me. But despite that, they have also was seeing a little decline in their profit margin from 26.97 to 25.62%. But this also tells you that in every 1 naira of revenue or sales in a Dangote, they are taking about 25 or 26 kobo as profit. For me, it's a good one. Then the life of Boa. Why Boa here? Because we want to look at all these big high cap stock in the market. Boa also posted a 96.99 billion against 61.19 billion, growing his top line with 58.51%. In that direction also, posted also 33.14 billion, representing 48% up against the 22.37 billion in 2021. Then the EPS also for me is a bit not too strong, from 66 kobo to 98 kobo, representing roughly also 48% up. But the profit margin here is also dropped marginally from 36.56% to 34.13% for the period. Then the last one we're going to look at here, okay, we're having 2 years. We have the Lafarge. Lafarge has the first number that came impressive. Yes, what we are seeing now is just market reaction that moved. But for Lafarge, still maintain that position from 71.4 billion to 90.6 billion, 26% or 27% up. Then YPAT was in that direction from 9.14 billion to 17.56 billion, representing 92.2%. That tells you that this stock is really doing powerfully. Also, the EPS moved from 57 kobo to 1 naira 9 kobo, while also the profit margin moved from 12.79 to 19.47. For me, it's a good one. Another stock that is very important, or very the way it's operating, and also what is happening both the pre-election year and also the diversification of this company, says that something is happening in Julius Berger. Julius Berger, revenue or also moved from 71.2 billion to 108.45 billion, represents 52.1.3%. That is a good one. Also, we saw the PAT moving from 2.81 to 3.73 billion, represents 32% up for Q1. Also in that direction, the EPS moved from 1 naira 52 kobo to 2 naira 33 kobo earning per share. Also, like the profit margin also was down marginally from 3.95 to 3.44% for Julius Berger. But this is a company also that declared 2 naira 50 kobo for 2021, and also the markdown date is still up ahead. You can take advantage of this. We are seeing impressive number. At the same time, you have also to benefit from the dividend declared. That means the stock that you should also keep your gaze on. For me, these are the stock you should watch as we speak now. As the market has speak, let's quickly go to what the state of the market at this hour. Let's see what is happening in our market, at this hour. It's good to know because the market will tell you where we are going. At the state of the market now, let's quickly go to the market to see what is happening. Now let's see what is happening in the market at this hour. You can see that the market is looking bullish, but before we go into the starting or going to chart, you can look at the state of the market. Market is, I would say, market is in green, green indeed. Market is gaining almost 0.5% up, now representing about 266.8% point up. That is a good one. Market is, as we speak now, 49,905.80. And don't forget that the next resistance level there is about 50,070.30. This is the next. Once market breaks, that will confirm another phase of the market entirely. And once market cross the 50,000 psychological line, it tells you that this trend is going to grow. And also, for me, it is easy for market to cross. That means market is already targeting the peak of 2008. Why did I say so? The high cap that are still going to support the market are still underway. Airtel have not announced their audited account for financial year ended March, and they have also given a date slated for May 11 forward to release of that account, and it's going to come with a dividend. That will also be a force in the market. We're seeing what is happening in the oil sector, the banking sector, the agricultural sector, and at the same time the industrial sector. Also, we are not leaving the consumer goods sector behind because most of the companies they are also doing very well. But as we speak now, we have 58 gainers against 19 losers. And among the 28 gainers, the top gainers there are from the agricultural sector. We are seeing Okomu leading the pack of the top gainers, followed by Presco, also Fixing, Cabri, and Entana. These are the top. All other big stocks are there in that under the gainers, but these are the top gainers. Presco, Okomu, Fixing, Cabri, and Entana. Also on the loser chart, I said we have 24 gainers against 19 losers. Market is positive in terms of breadth. We are seeing the Osha index also looking up, tell you that there's also demand, so also seeing volume increasing. But as we speak now, the top losers are Owando, followed by Royal Exchange, Exchange Assurance, Mansard, Insurance, Keja Hotel, and UPDC. These are the top losers as we speak. But in terms of volume, I tell you, volume is very, very important when it comes to equity investment, whether individual stock or the general market. Don't look at the volume. We are seeing that this trend is continuing. We are seeing the positive trend. We are seeing the bull dominance extending to the new month, really the first trading day of the month or the new month. We are seeing that positivity already in the market. As we speak now, the top trade for volume is led by Transcorp, followed by Champs, and Access Corp, the new holding company on the exchange, Access Corp, and also followed by Mansard, and the next one there is what is NGS Group. These are the top trade in volume. You can see that these are also you want to look at. But before we finish, we want to look at some of these companies. Well, first of all, we look at what is happening in the two top gainers that are in the agriculture sector. Look at the chart of Komu, the chart of Presco. Fixing it there, we'll look at it. Also look at what is happening in Mansard again. Today, we'll also check what is also happening in UPDC. We want to look at the chart of these stocks together. There's about 5 or 6 of them before, if time permits us. Let's see how we go. Let's go with the time. We want to look at the Mansard, UPDC, Komu, Presco, and the Fixing. Then you can look at the Cabri, one of the food and the beverage sector or consumer goods that is among the top gainers. Quick one, let's go to the chart now as we speak. These are charts, this is the market as we speak now. Market is also making a new high. The market is making higher highs as we speak, which is good. You can see it here, a new candle here. You can see this is the candle for the previous day. You can see another one on top here. But the good thing is that the market is what on uptrend. We want to bring out our T line to see the distance between the T line and the index action. But I tell you, T line is good for you. It serves as what? As for resistance and support. At the same time, does the work of Fibonacci. I always say that is what the T line also does. So that it always guide you what to do at the right time, so that you won't be carried away with market gyration. But then, as we speak now, so that you know exactly when to take profit. If you are trading, don't be carried away with market movement, either up or down. Let your stop loss guide you. Take away emotion when you're taking your decision. I always emphasize this. Yes, let's call up our indicators for our analysis this hour. We are calling up the T line. If you are familiar with us in this class, that is our what we used to know what is happening exactly, money flow, and they'll go to moving average exponential 8. Yes, you can say there's 9 there, there's 12 there, they are all okay. But for here, for Investdata, we use 8 and 12, but mostly 8, 12 for you to confirm, but confirm a cross over so that you can take position to buy. But when this last T line is our trigger line at the same time, tell you what is happening in the stock. You can see the T line here, you can see the blue line here up here, you can see it here up here, you can see the blue line up here, you can see for yourself. For me, it's a good one. You can see it here, very clear here direction. You can see the T line here. Then for me, it's a good one. It's a good one. You can see the T line up here. See it here. You can see the distance here between the T line and all that. You can see them. You can see where it is now. You can see where the index action is. You can see the distance here. But let's call other ones that are not showing. Let me call them now. Call up the ones that are not showing. The money flow. Yes, you can see it here now. Okay. Okay, you can see all that. You can see the volume here. You can see it here. See that the MACD is positive on a day chart. You can see money flow is telling you money flow for me has crossed 90, almost 95. Tells you that funds are entering the market, heavily now. You can see it reflecting on the money flow. You can see the movement from here, from here, from here. You can see it keep on moving up. For me, it shows that yes, for me, we won't do much here until go to day our chart is very important to me, and also I've taught you how to use it for a lot of things. You can see on our chart, market is still strong. Market is hitting almost 85%, 80 points above the 80 above the line here. You can see it here. Fund is entering the market. MACD is powerfully strong on our chart. You can see the distance between the T line and the index. Your market is strong. For me, it's a good one. Like I always say, don't be carried away with this market position. Always take your profit when it is attained. Once you achieve it, take your profit. And also, I taught you also how to take your profit slowly in a stock that has a positive earnings. Price is going up, volume is going up, fundamental is positive, technical is positive, and you are seeing volume in that stock. At the same time, you are seeing income or liquidity or sentiment positive for that stock. That kind of stock, you don't just quickly sell outrightly. You take your profit slowly and watch the trend. That is why you need to also up your game in technical analysis so that you know how to use the technical to know exactly when to take profit and also when to attractively sell off, when information change or when trend or when momentum change, how to sell out attractively. All this is what the TA worries. And that is why I always say that if you have not gotten our Investdata, technical tools box, a lot of indicators are discussed in that video. Get it, it's going to guide you. Also, how to trade with what earning season. Have a video on that. What you can probably get it. It's going to also guide you. I'm telling you to kind of up your game in your investment decision. This for the market. Quick one. Want to look at what is happening in Okomu now as we speak. You can see that things are already changing in the market. You need to understand why things are changing in the market, because also numbers are coming. You can see that these numbers are coming and telling you what happened in Okomu. Q1 tell you that what's going to likely to happen in Fresco. You can see the market is always becoming say that our players here, the investors are traders in Nigeria, becoming more intelligent, in their decision. They are not following bandwagon. They have tools. Also at the same time, they know what they are doing. You can see that they go for value, and that value is what we want to sustain the market as we speak. That value we want to, because most of them are going for good stock and value stock that will support this uptrend we're seeing in the market. That is why you need to follow market and also set your goal. You can see on our chart what is happening in Okomu. You can see Okomu is far above the T line here on our chart, and our chart is looking, you can see that MACD is already positive and it's becoming stronger on a bullish trend. On the more money flow is still above 96. For our chart for Okomu, fund is entering that stock powerfully as we speak. If you come to a day chart of Okomu, you can probably see that you can see your T line. Your T line is blue. You can see where Okomu was like flat here. You can see this trend here. But still, later it come below the T line. But now that crossed above it as we speak now, it remains above the T line, and which is good for Okomu. For me, MACD is telling you that something is also already happening. You can see that MACD is already crossing to become bullish on a daily chart. While money flow is still looking up to read around 71 point something percent point up. For me, it's a good one for Okomu. Let's quickly look at Presco. The technicals for Como is positive, and then look at what is happening in Presco. This is what is happening in Presco as we speak now. Presco market is expecting a lot of things from Presco. The upside result at the same time, the expectation of bonus from that stock. But that is why you can see that the price is already jumping up as we speak. To tell you that this stock has something for it. This is a day chart for Presco. You can see this kind of strong bullish candle on a day chart is very strong. You can see above the T line, and also MACD is positive. We are seeing good volume coming out to support this increment, this breakout we are seeing here, an up movement. You can see it here. For me, it's a good one for Presco. And money flow is reading almost 90, 89.5. It's good and it's bullish already on MACD. This for a day chart. Let's quickly look at a daily chart, an hour chart. Sorry, for you can see the hour chart here. You can see very strong. You can see this time between the index price action of Presco and the T line. Good one. Tell you that this stock is strong. It has somewhere it's going already. I tell you the stock. And when I said the stock to hit 17 naira, people think that I was playing. You can see that the stock is already moving towards that direction at almost trading around 50, 57. For me, it's a good one now. Let's see where it's going. For me, it's a good one, and the volume is there on our chart. We have seen that it's strong. You can see MACD here, strong on our money flow has crossed almost 80, 85. It's a good one. Sorry, across the 65, almost getting to 70 is a good one for money flow. It's headed, and it's a journey that I just started. It's a good one. Let's quickly look at what is happening in fixing healthcare. Let's look at what is happening in fixing healthcare. Fixing, let's see what is happening there at this hour. Let's see what is happening in fixing. Let's see what is happening in fixing. That also will be a good one for us. Fixing is positive. You can see on the hour chart, you can see volume here, you can see volume down here, very positive, and you also see a long what candlestick, and this is a bullish candle green stick. You can see here above all this, try to measure. That means the stock is heading to break out the 58, 55, that is the resistance. Once you break it out, it's a good one. MACD is bullish, money flow is bullish. You can see that the price action and other momentum indicators are looking in the same direction. It tells you that this stock has a potential to rally. And also don't forget that they've not marked down for their 50 kobo dividend. Yes, it is poor, but I'll tell you, compared to what they paid the previous year, it's more than 100% growth in their dividend, and we are seeing improved earnings. And also, you can see that recently they are signing agreement with Cuba in Nigeria here to start production of vaccine. I believe this recent agreement with Cuba will also be a plus for all of them in that sector. GSK, me and Baker, Nimet, Pharmadeco, all of them going to rub up, go up all of them. That means that sector also remain, a crucial sector and a very important to watch. We're seeing improvement here. You can see on a day chart. We're back to day chart for fixing. We've seen that the daily annual was very strong. You can see also on a day chart looking sweet. You can see volume also crossing the average traded volume. You can see that it's bullish. You can see that the technicals are positive, but why the fundamentals are positive. Charts are looking good. For me, it's a good stock to also keep your eyes on. Then the next one there is the Cabri before we go to UPDC and the UPDC and the Master. But let's look at what is happening in Cabri. It's the time for you to take profit, because I tell you this stock, learn how to take profit in Cabri as I warned you. So that I said Cabri earnings performance is not stable. You can't predict it, but technically we're seeing that it's looking good at this time. And you can take advantage of this rally to also take your profit before the market will also readjust. It's about market sentiment or market buying interest at this hour. But once they also we expect that the PFAs, the big boys, and also pension fund, all the fund managers, they are doing their due diligence on these Q1 numbers, and that will also trigger portfolio readjustment, what we call a sectoral rotation. All this will happen with this strength of this number, and also ahead of the the inflation figure that will come in this month of April, ahead of GDP, and also ahead of FPC meeting. That means people are looking at where will this company continue, which sector will continue this powerful performance at the end of the day. So that's why I said, down my market here, we are seeing that the company's earnings has given a kind of insight for stock being a good protection for what for higher for against the high inflation, and that is why you see that those PFAs, they are not sleeping. They know what they are doing, because the more we see an uptick in inflation, the more their red position for their real returns become red, and that also show that they are not in the right position. They also want to do adjustment. But don't be carried away with the front entering the market. Don't be carried away with the direction. But let your goals guide you. Your entry and exit strategy. Take your emotion. Your stop loss should be at work at any given time. Yes, we're seeing Cabri here. As I just said, Cabri is good. You can see that on the chart. You can see that the number, the candlestick is above the T line. Good. You can see positive MACD. But why here you can see that money flow is already looking flat on a day chart. Let's quickly look at what is happening on 1 hour chart. That will give us the right position. Whether to take profit at this hour, we should know. Yes, for me, I think I said last time, the 1 hour chart is not looking good on the Cabri. That means even the recent rally is going. You have to take, be very careful and know how to take profit. Money flow is already down. You can see that there's fund not entering much. Yes, MACD is positive. Why the T line here? You can see the T line here. What is happening? You can see that we are seeing a movement jump here. But our advice, if you are in that kind of stock, try to take your word to profit from it. Try to take your profit from it. Don't allow any other thing to extend your waiting there. Take your profit start when you. It's very, very important. Very, very important. You can see that it's not looking too good. Yes, quick one. Let's look at UPDC. Look at UPDC and also look at our time. Let's look at UPDC, to see what we can do. And quickly look at UPDC, then we'll now rush to see what UPD risks. They are good, but let's look at UPDC first. Yes, you can see UPDC on a one chart. You can see it's still above the T line, despite that we're seeing a kind of a slowdown. See it here, it went up, but let's see. It's still around 110, around 17, but let's look at what the stock is doing now. It's doing around 105 on also on and our chart is looking good. You can see that MACD is always turning to see that this stock will come through. You can see that, but still, you can see that the histogram here, you can see that it's coming down. There's a divergence here up. Even when you can see money flow is also looking down. You can see that money flow is trying to go up. Let's see how it go. Let's go to a day chart to confirm. But 1 hour is not too good for PDC. But that does not mean that the stock is bad, but you have to watch. Yet you can see there's a pullback here little. But the number of this company showing that something, the volume is not too heavy, small below the average traded volume. But MACD is still positive. Why money flow is just looking down to show that there's also profit taken in the stock already as speak. That does not mean that the stock is bad. If you are in that position, take advantage of this pullback to buy again. If you are not entered before, but the pullback made the stock more attractive because of the company have turned positive from a negative position to positive. It's a good one, and we expect that as inflation continue to look up, the real estate and stock market will be where most of the funds will going to hedge against inflation. That will also be a plus for UPDC. Lastly, let's look at what is happening in Mansard. As I've said earlier, that will be the last for today. What is happening in Mansard Insurance? What is happening? Yes, as we speak on a day chart, you can see that the stock is already below what the T line that you have to watch. Is when it cross up again before you buy. It's already below the T line. You can see volume here, which volume above has coming down. That's not a good sign, and money flow is looking down. That means by this position, you have to cut your loss, or you wait for it to pull back. When it comes, you can buy it. If you want to average down, that is for your another investment objective. For this kind of market, if you see market going up, I think you look at for another store. Then you can cut your loss. That's why your stop loss is always there for you. Cut your loss and move, because every expectation is every investment against expectation. If expectation in the Mansard is not met, yes, you have taken your dividend, it's fine. Then you can quickly jump out and come back again when you see the company coming out with a better number. But we're seeing that money flow on a 1 hour chart is looking up, while the MACD is trying to make it up or down. You can see that price action is below the T line. I will tell you, once below the T line, it's not a good area. You have to have short here, once and come back. When you break up again, you now jump back again. Let's quickly look at the daily chart for the last one. Let's look at the daily chart for the stock. I said it earlier, it's not looking on a daily chart. Yes, so finally, let me look at what it's doing on a weekly chart before we can call it a day. For both on a weekly chart, it's not looking too good. For me, let's cut our loss in Mansard now and move to the next position available. Yes, I'll say thank you for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate you, and we expect that the market to maintain momentum. I see the market is already in green, and this is just the midday. We expect the market to close around 2:30. Before then, let's see other things that will happen in the market, but I will tell you the market is in green. Indeed, also thank you for joining us. As I said, if you know have question to ask, follow all our social media and ask your question. Also, if you want to wait for the question and answer, you can also wait for Saturday. The last Saturday, I can tell you that people are really calling, enjoying the question and answer and the explanation and that stuff. We're going to do more in the next question and answer. But if you have any question, feel free to ask, at any platform, on our social media. My colleagues will also give you an answer. At the same time, if you need to get me one on one, I will do the same thing to you. I'll tell you the market is bullish, but don't be carried away. Let your goal guide you. Let your stop loss